Hey everybody, welcome back to podcast number 6. Today we're going to be talking about video games and how addicted he is to them actually. It's going to be a pretty good one.
Not anymore. I used to be. I have learned my lesson.
That's what they all say. There's a relapse coming, I'm pretty sure.
No.
It could happen at any moment, you never know.
Maybe if Battlefield gets better. I don't know. We'll see.
Today Joe's out, so Cody's going to be filling his spot for today, but it should still be interesting, for sure. So tell me, what was your first video game you ever played?
It was I think it was actually a Legend of Zelda on Nintendo 64. Can't remember exactly which one it was.
I would say that if it was on Nintendo 64, it'd be Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
That's a good one.
It was, man. We had me and Kyle, we had this babysitter over in Arapahoe, and we were there all summer. You know, she was our babysitter for that summer, and I played it the whole entire summer, man. It was awesome. Long game, too. Good game.
You beat it then?
Almost. I got the golden goblets.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Skull started back, and I never went back.
Dang it.
Yeah. Never played it since.
Right on. All right, another question for you. What was your, what's the most time you've spent playing a game at one time?
Hands down, Battlefield 1.
How long did you go for?
I could have easily went for 14 hours sometimes.
Do you think you did? Did you think you done that like several times?
Yeah,
maybe
easily, yes.
14 hours?
Yeah.
That's a long time to play a video game, man.
I know.
Did you realize you had a problem?
Not at that time, no.
No?
It's when I actually started seeing how much time I have put into it altogether.
Dang.
Adrenaline shock. It does the deed.
Don't mind the weed eater going in the background. I think he's gone now. Sorry about that. What do you think the average age for gamers is?
Man, I think 11, 12 to 17, 18, you know, those high school years.
If you were going to give an average of all the people who play video games right now, what would the age be? An average. Give me one age. One number.
It's kind of hard to answer, you know, because you got a bunch of people in high school, but then you got a bunch of people in college, you know, so it would definitely fit around that same category, I feel like. But I'd have to go with high school, you know, because a lot of them aren't working. So probably around 16, 17, I feel like.
16, 17.
That's just me.
Wow, how far you are off.
Really?
It's actually 35.
Oh.
Would you ever guess that?
No, I wouldn't have. Wow.
Well, to me, it kind of makes sense because, like, games as, like, a source of entertainment started, you know, predominantly getting into the mainstream, like, 80s. So, you know, you have all these kids back then that grew up with these video games, and they just stuck with them. Yeah. So that age is still increasing while they keep playing them. But you're always getting a new group of individuals playing, like the younger.
Yep.
But yeah, this is why it kind of makes sense to me that those gamers stuck with it, and that's why the age is slowly creeping up.
Yep.
This was based off a study back in 2016, so it could actually be higher right now than it is then.
Wow. I wouldn't doubt it, man. I would not doubt it.
Yeah. Now, would you say, with all your gaming experience, do you think it's improved you in any way?
Read up on something, you know, FPS games. It kind of makes it to where you're faster at, what would you call it?
Your hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Your attention, your what's the actual term for it? I don't know. It's just how fast you adjust
Just
to moving
reflexes.
objects. Yeah, it's a reflex. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like maybe a little bit, but all in all, man, I don't think it did much for me.
No?
Maybe some better reflexes, I guess, but
It help you think things through, process problems faster, problem-solving skills increases, none of that?
not that I've noticed, but maybe.
Maybe. Just
No,
something
maybe.
that you're unaware of.
Yeah.
Minor changes.
Yep.
Well, there was actually a group of studies done that showed that it can drastically improve your attention. Not just in like a specific thing, that too. So you can stay fixated on one subject at a time or idea or an object for that matter. You can focus on it without losing attention. But also, yeah, and it increased the length of time that you can too. So
Wow.
I guess in a sense it can help with things like ADHD.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah,
It
maybe so.
could help that. But it showed that, and it actually changed the shape of the brain.
Really?
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, I better start playing video games again. I'm about to go start up again, you know. No, I don't think so. But that's interesting. Wow.
It is. I thought so too. I really did. Out of all the types of games that there are, which one do you think is the most beneficial? If you were looking at a game to increase either your knowledge or better yourself in some way, which kind of game would you play?
What type? Or
Yes, what type? Oh, let me read off some like action games, action adventure games, action or role playing games, simulation games, strategy games, sports games, puzzle games, indie games.
I think puzzle.
Puzzle and trivia would be
Yes.
it would be my go-to also,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of games out there that are basically like spell this word. I'm not sure what the actual name of those are. I don't really play them that much, but there's a lot of like, oh, I can spell better than you games, you know.
Yeah.
And there's also what's that? Trivia. It's a game where you can you basically you're matched against somebody else and you have to answer questions. It's a trivia game,
Okay.
and the
yeah.
highest score wins.
Right.
Yeah, I guess those would be for your general knowledge. They would obviously
They would be the
beneficial.
best bets for sure.
And back to what you were saying about first-person shooters, but yes, the speed at which you focus on things can. I think that would be the next best.
That's knowledgeable, man. I've never heard that. That's
But also, think about role-playing games where you're creating your other character. It's like it's building your imagination. You get to play as whoever you want,
yeah.
and you get to do things that you don't normally do in life. So it could
RPGs
actually
are my personal favorite.
that would be your
for
favorite
sure.
type of game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hands down, you know, because like you said, you make your own character, you know, there's plenty of different options. You pretty much do what you want in the game, you know, it's revolving around you and your character, and you play the game how you want it. And those have always been my favorite types of games, you know. Fallout is my favorite series, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you spent on those?
So I got into New Vegas back in, I think it was like 9th or 10th grade, and man, I played the heck out of that for like 2 years, and then I went to Fallout 3, played it for about a year. I spent some time on them for sure. I beat New Vegas multiple times, you know, with the Legion and the NCR and Mr. House. And
Can you expand on those just a little bit more? Some of our audience might not know exactly what you're talking about.
from Fallout New Vegas,
Yeah.
like the whole concept of it,
Yeah, the what would you call them? The
the story of it.
factions.
Okay, yeah, so you got the NCR, the New California Republic. They're like the military in the Fallout universe, and you have the Legion, which are their own little type deal, and they're ran by a guy named Caesar, and they go off the same concept as Caesar from Rome, you know, back in the day, I guess you could say.
It's probably
And-
what it's modeled after.
And they're fight. Yeah, yeah. And they're fighting over Hoover Dam, and you get to choose which side, but there's also 2 other sides you can choose. Mr. House, he kind of runs the New Vegas area, and Yes Man, which I guess he kind of runs the New Vegas area too, you know? I mean, yeah.
That sounds like a big cluster to me.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of information. Definitely try to play it. It's a 2010 game, but it's awesome.
Here's a good one for you. This one's important. Because it could be... It's a life-changing question right here, for sure. If you could create your own video game, what would it look and play like?
That's a hard one.
Just use your imagination. The best game you can think of, the game that you've always wanted but don't have. All the times you play in a game, like, man, it'd be cool if I could do that. If they added this, what would your game look like? Would it be a variation of a Fallout game? Would it be in that style?
So yes, 100%. It'd be more of a futuristic one, and you'd have like it'd probably be between a mix of a Fallout and a Star Wars. You know, you have different planets. I think it'd be awesome. You know, it'd be a huge game, but it'd be pretty amazing.
So being able to travel planet to planet,
yeah,
does that entice you?
Yeah, and it's all, you know, post-apocalyptic, and
so every planet is just run down like a hellhole, huh? Like every planet is Fallout. Everyone had a nuclear war all at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no good civilizations.
That's a good point. Left. So I guess it would be like a Star Wars universe, but not as...
You just can't visit the good ones?
It's a hard question, man. Like, I should have thought about that before we did this podcast.
It's all good, man. We're just trying to expand on it. We're trying to develop the best game that we can in our minds.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's stick to that. Are you aware that there are games that you can travel the universe right now? Have you ever played No Man's Sky?
No, but I've heard a bunch about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that it was a flop at release?
Auto-generated planets and stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's interesting. Now, me personally, I would like them to be individually created, because when you get into the auto-generated characters and stuff, sometimes they get really janky looking. I seen some video of like this T-Rex looking thing with like little legs, because you know it's auto-generating the body parts of these creatures that are found on these planets. So it has like a big T-Rex head, little legs, and like a weird torso.
That's the first step into going into this new territory of gaming. You know, this is the first time it's being done auto-generated. Is it not?
Very false. Very false.
Really?
One of the biggest games ever made is actually it's a Bethesda game. The second game out of the series, Daggerfall. It's auto-generated. It's actually it's one of the biggest games. I gotta look this up. Yeah, we're gonna do this right now.
Yeah, when I heard that about No Man's Sky, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Do you play Skyrim?
I did for a little bit. I didn't fall in love with it like most people did, but I played it and I beat it with the Stormcloak.
Okay, so I'm here. I got it now. It's approximately 209,000 square miles.
Whoa.
Yes. Filled with 15,000 towns. Yes.
What year did that come out?
And a population of 750,000.
Whoa.
1994. They used auto-generation, so you could run into... you could play it and never see the same thing twice. You go into dungeons or caves out in the wilderness, and they'd all be auto-generated. So they'd be familiar, but the paths would change. Maybe the enemies would change in them.
Wonder why that's not more popular, nowadays. Than
Again,
not many
because
people do it.
It leaves a lot. It's limited. It's not as well polished when you look at it. That was the problem. Like I was trying to describe about No Man's Sky, is that some of the characters and the plant life, some of it was just open, real vague, and just not enough detail.
They haven't mastered it, I guess you could say, yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it should be used sparingly, personally.
Yeah.
I think the planets you could do a lot with auto generation, but there's certain things that I think that a creator or an art designer or a character designer, they need to do themselves, because you can just put more detail into it.
Of course, yeah.
And it would make it look more uniform. Because if you auto generate things, then you're looking at obviously randomized perks, pieces of armor, so you look like, you're level 1 in Fallout or something. You're just throwing whatever shit you can find on.
What about you,
just
man?
to protect yourself.
What was your first game you've played?
The first game I ever played, it would have been on the Super Nintendo, and it would have been Super Mario Bros., followed by Captain Commando. Never heard of it, huh?
Super Mario, I have.
You've heard of that?
The other one, yeah.
Captain Commando is just like it's a little brawler game where you go around punching the same character, because they made like one enemy throughout the game for each level, and then the boss is just like a bigger of the same enemy.
So are you just trying to chase that guy down? Is that the concept of it?
Well, you're just beating up. I really don't even know the concept. You choose from 4 characters, and you have, your basic attacks. You go whoosh, whoosh, a little slide kick, and then a special move you do. Real simplistic game, but they were fun. I mean, honestly, they were for the time, and they still are.
For their day, yeah.
Like, just anything adding a score. I got the highest score. Yeah, and it was very arcade style, because if you died, and you had to restart from the very beginning. There was no save points, none of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first game I ever played. Now, the first game I ever liked, that I actually ever got into, was actually... I kind of skipped a generation. I had a PlayStation after the Super NES, but I really... Well, yeah, there was one. Spyro the Dragon. You ever heard of that?
Man, I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
They just made a remastered collection of them on PS4 and other platforms too. But you're just a little dragon, and you have to go save all the other dragons in the kingdom. Yeah, and then on the third one, you have to go collect all these little dragon eggs that these guys stole from you. It's pretty unique. It's like Mario. It's like a Mario clone, kind of, with different attacks. Obviously, you don't attack like Mario because you're a dragon.
What would your favorite series? What is your favorite series?
Favorite series of game. Ooh, I got a few that I am really a fan of right now. But I would have to say, as far as storyline goes and just plain fun playability, I'm gonna say Far Cry. The Far Cry series, they're just fun, even if the storylines can get a bit weird, and they're kind of similar all the time. The gameplay is fun, and a lot of people don't like the climbing the tower, getting your viewpoint type thing. Having a marker on your map, but I like that. Mm-hmm. It keeps me busy, and I'm like working towards a goal in a game, and that's kind of what I like to do. I like fetch quest. I'm one of the rare few. A lot of people complain about there being so many. Now, I did play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and there is way too many fetch quests. I spent a long time.
What do you mean fetch quests?
You go get a particular item, or you have to, or there's like any cave, you find the same stuff. You're always looking for like a ancient relic or something.
Yep.
And it gives you perk points.
Pretty
or something like that.
Repetitive.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing.
Repetitive pretty fast.
And there's caves all over the entire map, and you know exactly what's going to be in there. You just don't know where it's at. They did give you a cool little way to find these items, though.
Yeah.
You have a, I don't know if it's a falcon. I think it's an eagle. And it can, like, sense for you where these items are. So it hovers above the ground and it, like, highlights stuff, and you can see through the cave walls or the temple walls, whatever you're trying to go into, and you can find them easier.
I would definitely be one of those people, that would get tired of the fetch quests for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just doing the same task over and over again.
Yep.
I mean, there's ways to keep it interesting, like change enemies, maybe put a random like mini boss in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Give it some variability. Like, you don't want to do the same. Go find this freaking torch again.
Right.
Go find this goblet. It's a special goblet this time, we swear. No, it's the same one. Damn it.
Just under like a different name, same exact.
Yeah, different temple, same name, whatever. Oh yeah. That would be my favorite series for sure. Now I have other ones. Assassin's Creed's one of them, and that's another one people complain about. But I find it very playable, and I like the unique settings. I like every time they make a new one. I'm looking forward to the newest one coming out also.
See, I've only played Black Flag. It was a couple years ago, and I loved it. Like it was a lot of fun. So I might pick up a new one too. Yeah. Get your ship and deck it out and sail the seas. It was fun. I like that one.
It is. That's a very good. What do you call it? I like the layout of the game. I like being able to go to islands. Travel. You're not just stuck in one like area of a map or something. Not just like one city or even two cities. Like it feels like you're free. It's a game that does really well, making you feel like it's much bigger than it is.
Yep. Since we're talking about Assassin's Creed, might as well bring it up. I'm sure I've never done any research into it, but I'm sure there's a big, people liking it or not liking it. It's the whole concept of the game, that it's in present and you're in like a
I know where you're going with this.
I understand that it's part of the game, and it's a cool idea, but I would rather it just be at that specific time, that it doesn't go back into the present.
You want to stay in the past.
It's just stay in the past. It's a lot more simple.
Do you think it breaks the character immersion?
When I was playing Black Flag, I got bored when we were coming back into the present time. I didn't care for it.
It's part of the story, and that's why I understand why it's there. But yeah, I can feel it like a break, because it just drags you out. You finish a mission in that game, and it'll just drag you to the present. You're like, what the crap, man? I was a pirate. Yeah. I don't want to be this homeboy walking through this lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's a cool idea, but
it breaks immersion a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it takes you from being a pirate and brings you back into the real world. And I'm just trying to be a pirate.
Yep.
I get that. I fully get that. Did you ever play any fighting games?
Man, I had bad experiences with fighting games.
You suck at them, huh?
Yeah, I'd always go over and hang out at my friend's house, and he'd be wanting to play Mortal Kombat. I'm like, man, let's just play some Call of Duty Zombies, and we'd end up playing Mortal Kombat for a while, and he'd always kick my ass, man. Never had good experiences with it.
That's what I like about it. I could just pick anybody out, and I was good at them.
You were good with the combos and stuff?
I would memorize combos, and I wouldn't even let people touch me. And I would feel awesome. But then, like, you're good at zombies.
Is that how you get your happiness?
Yeah, that's back in the day. Yeah, I was like, yes, I'm actually doing something. That's all I want to do with my life. Yeah. But like, I've played zombies with you before, and you're particularly good. And I was like, I get it. I understand why you would want to play zombies, because you're good at it. And someone who was not very good at it.
Lots of hours on zombies. I think besides Fallout, like, I've spent a lot of time on each Fallout, but specific games, like a specific game, man, it was Black Ops 1 Zombies, way too many hours playing that, and it was Battlefield 1, way too many hours.
Did you ever know the hours? Did you ever actually look at your hours on zombies? I know you have.
I did not, no. but I know it was a lot. And Black Ops 1, I've had the most hours in the zombies, but I was a big fan of World at War Zombies because I went back and I played that after Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 Zombies, Black Ops 3, 4. But Black Ops 1 is what started it, you know, and I would just get it, man. Any spare time I had, you know, I'd get it with zombies. And I started to get to where I played solo because I'd play online and, you know, people would leave because we get into high rounds and I'm still this guy up.
Yeah, you're the guy that's saving everybody right before the next round starts and stuff.
And sometimes you can't. And when you can't, you know. Like,
I was the guy on the ground.
Were you the guy that...
Yeah. I was the guy holding everybody back. I tried my best though, damn it. Promise.
Hey, man.
We're actually gonna show his hours that he has on and his stats for Battlefield 1. They'll be on this, so check them out. They're pretty impressive.
Be like, wow, what a no life.
Yeah. How many hours was it? Let's just tell them.
So I had 2 different profiles when I played Battlefield. I had my profile when I was actually playing, and then I had actually a practice profile also. That's like how deep I got into it. My practice profile had like, I don't have my phone on me. No, it's over there.
Just guesstimate. We're going to show them. I'm going to take your screenshot of it.
All in all, man, I think it was like, for both profiles.
A lot. We'll have it.
It was a lot,
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have some gameplay of him kicking ass too, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Fun.
So what do you think about the games coming out? Okay, here's a really, really good question. PS5 or Xbox Series X?
Series X.
Why?
I've always been an Xbox fan. I started out with a PlayStation 2. It was alright, but I don't know, man. There's just something about Xbox that I've always loved, and ever since then, I've never went back, you know? I'm a straight Xbox fan. Like, I'll always have an Xbox.
Fair enough.
I won't go to PlayStation. It's just...
You got
those crazy fans.
It is what it is.
Figure out which one you like, and you never look back. And I guess that's kind of how it is for me.
Yeah, a lot of it is that you've invested so much in Xbox. You're used to the controller. The interface is usually going to be something that you can adapt to better because it's coming from the same company over and over again. Every new console, it'll just be easier for you to make that transition.
Yeah.
Which is the same for me. Me being PlayStation, I'm going to get a PS5, and it's similar to the PS4 in some ways. I heard the UI is going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see it.
And sometimes I'll sit down, you know, and I'll try to watch Hulu or something on your PlayStation, and it gets corrupt a lot, you know, where it freezes up. As my Xbox, the same generation as your PlayStation, it never does that. So even
this is very false information.
No, it is not.
This is very false.
Nope.
See, there's about to be aggression over game consoles. I understand.
We're about to duke it out in Travis's room. Xbox.
Yeah. No, PlayStation for life.
Okay.
Do you know any features of the Xbox Series X coming out that you're most excited for? Do you know any of them? Or are you just...
Man, like, I'm just not playing games like I used to, so
I'm
not even sure if I'm even going to get it yet, you know? I'm probably going to get it.
You might hold out a little bit, though.
But, you know, it's just whenever I have the extra money for it, I'll go get it. It's not like, oh, crap, this is the new console. I need to go out and get it.
Like, day one. Like, I'm in line.
Exactly.
At 2 a.m. 3 days before release date, camping out in my tent. People do that. It's crazy.
It's insane, man. But
speaking of
forum, you know, like, go get it.
I've actually waited in line for a game before.
What game?
Fallout 4.
Damn, that's a good game. I still play it to this day.
I do too.
I'm thinking, like, I got more hours on Fallout 4 now than New Vegas. Man, Fallout 4
it makes
so
sense
good.
Because it looks... I mean, obviously, it's got its problems, but it looks much better than New Vegas, given that there's a 5-year gap and it's on a new generation console.
2015 is when 4 came out?
Yep.
Wow. We're still playing it today.
Yeah, dude, it's never going to die.
Man.
Well, freaking... what is that game? 2013 game, Grand Theft Auto, still makes lots of money a day, and it's 2013.
Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah.
That is, wow.
Yeah. It may never die. They don't really even need to make another game again. They just need to update 5, keep it going, keep the money flowing. They're good to go.
They need to make a new Fallout because 76 is garbage. It's just me.
It's okay. It's an online game. Yeah, that's it. Let's close it with that. Why? Not why, but why is it different? Even though it's mostly, it looks the same. It looks like Fallout 4 a lot, and they've improved the graphics some. They really have.
Yeah,
but
I can agree.
What is the difference between a game that you play on your own and an online adventure game like Fallout New Vegas? Not New Vegas, but 76.
I guess 76 would be kind of like a test run because this is the first multiplayer Fallout they've had. Of course, there's going to be a lot of issues. They're learning from it.
There was a lot of issues in the beginning. Like
I didn't play it in the beginning.
Exactly.
I know.
Most people didn't because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I get them experimenting on it. That's fine, but at least release a semi-done product.
Does 76 even have big cities? You know, like does it have all the? No.
It's got small
little towns, right? You know, like
yeah. But give them credit. They just now added NPCs to the game.
Right.
They're behind.
100%, man. 100%. You know, just. Fallout was my favorite series, you know, and
you feel like
it wasn't
up to par.
76 and yeah. I don't know, you know, like I don't have much to say about it that's accurate. Just I didn't really care for it, you know, like
I understand. Yeah, it's a bummer to see games when they come out, you know, uncompleted.
Yeah,
not ready to actually be.
Battlefield 5 is a perfect example, you know. Like,
games are being rushed these days.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That's all we got time for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments below and let us know what you want to hear about. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you, guys.